And
3 years.
That's quite a bit of time. We don't need to recount,
No.
people all about how the Lord brought us together, but where did this passion for wanting to build community has been, because it's been brewing for a while, so where did it come from? Why?
I think it's, like I was mentioning to Sister before, how it was the absence of like a young community in the Catholic Church, and not specifically like, just university students, because we have, Impact that came to Calgary, and CCO that does that specifically for university students. But I needed something that had that included everybody, and especially young professionals, people that are getting out of school. They no longer have that support system. So yeah, and this is just, even when Sister and I met in September, I think it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was an opening, and it was perfect, because her energy and enthusiasm, which I don't always have, was exactly what I needed, in that kind of motivation to get this started, and knowing what people are interested in, and getting a different crowd of people in. With this one, it called to artists as well as people that were just interested in a different form of Bible study, and especially I think with some of the Catholic ones, it included a much older crowd of people that were, maybe already retired and had kids kind of later on, so this kind of grew to them.
So you and I, in our journey as young women as well, one thing I think that we've both come to value is the importance of a spiritual director in our life. And I remember when we first met and you were sharing the idea, I was like, it was just growing so strong. So Sister finally became your spiritual director. So tell me, how does that make the difference in the way ministry is going now versus when you were doing it by yourself before, without a spiritual director? How is that benefiting you?
Well, it makes the biggest difference in the world, because you have somebody that is, I guess you can use the word like professional, but somebody who is much more mature in their faith, and they're coming in and they're guiding you, and they become very much a support system, right? And just being
to visual art, because I used to think that it was only for young ladies, but I discovered tonight it is open to everybody. Right? Whether from 3 years old until 100 years old.
Or we had babies, not yet.
And we haven't had any 100-year-olds.
And we haven't had 100-year-olds. I'm not sure who the oldest person was.
Me.
Oh, it was you.
So it is open to everybody.
It is open to everybody, yeah. And we run it. Initially, we were just going to run it between my house and Sister's has a house.
We have a convent down the street where now a Syrian family is living. So, but it was a small convent. And it seemed like a good space to do this kind of activity.
Yeah, it was kind of like an open
space. So this is
space.
The first time we've had it here.
Yeah, so far we've kind of been changing around locations, but it just, different people have come, different ages, different professions, which is kind of neat too, because it's not only artists that come, it's people from all walks of life. We've had students and young professionals.
And it's once a month?
Once a month. We have it on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock, and it's roughly like 2 hours.
We kind of look at our calendar and pick the Sunday that'll work for us. And, the lectionary is a huge work to figure out what reading shall we do each Sunday. That's a huge job. And they don't change that too often, as you can imagine. But it's interesting to realize that that every 3 years we're really getting the same readings, but we're not the same people. We've grown. We've changed. So it's always, when it says in the Bible, sing a new song to the Lord.
Yeah.
Well, we always sing a new song to the Lord, because we can't possibly repeat our previous songs, because we're always growing and changing.
Yeah, is it only once a month?
Yeah, once a month we have it, and we kind of choose this day that works for us best, and then we have it in the evening, Sunday night. And it's nice because it's the week before the Sunday, right, where we have the readings.
So not everybody can make it the nights that it's convenient for us. So there've probably been about 15 different people who've cycled through it over the course of the year. And
And yeah, a lot of young couples too. We've had, you know, like husband and wife couples that have come as well. So it's been interesting, even like between themselves, kind of how they bring out their creative side.
So do you have a public page for the visual art night on Facebook? Like how do
Facebook.
How do people get to know about it?
In fact,
Like is there contact information, something like what?
It's been a private event, hasn't it?
Well, a private event, but everyone can invite guests.
So
and then
everybody
it
can
becomes
invite
open,
guests.
yeah. But it's on Facebook, yeah, and then we just invite people and then encourage other people to kind of show the event to whoever they know, whoever might be interested.
So
and
it's
open
called
to
Visual Scripture Night.
Visual Scripture Night, yes.
So it was One Rock Television at the Visual Scripture Night with Ursula, my friend Ula, we call her Ula, and Sister Madeline. So we spoke about, you know, the scripture readings for next Sunday coming up. We've prepared for it, and you know, I've also come to invite Ula to One Rock. So stay tuned as One Rock Television keeps going through the community. See you at the #1 Faith Festival this summer.
Thank you for watching One Rock Television. See you this summer at One Rock in August.